This is VOA News. Via remote, I'm Marissa Melton. U.S. President Joe Biden on Sunday told Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky that the United States and its allies will respond decisively if Russia further invades Ukraine. The call came days after Biden held a second conversation in a month with Russian President Vladimir Putin amid tensions on Russia's border with Ukraine, where Russia has massed some 100,000 troops. Biden and Zelensky discussed preparations for a series of upcoming diplomatic meetings to address the crisis. This, according to the White House press secretary, Jen Psaki. Zelensky said on Twitter that they discussed joint actions on keeping peace in Europe and preventing further escalation. Representatives from the United States and Russia are set to hold talks on January 9th and 10th in Geneva. That's to be followed by Russia-NATO Council talks and a meeting of the Organization for Security and Cooperation in Europe, all meetings scheduled within mid-January. A major fire ripped through South Africa's 138-year-old parliament complex on Sunday, gutting offices and causing some ceilings to collapse at a site that has hosted some of the country's pivotal moments. As firefighters struggled to tame the blaze, a dark plume of smoke and flames rose high into the air above the southern city of Cape Town. A fire and rescue spokesman said about 70 firefighters were still battling the fire hours after it started in the early morning. No injuries have been reported, and Parliament itself had been closed for the holidays. Visiting the scene, South African President Cyril Ramaphosa said a person was being held and is being questioned by police in connection with the blaze. Police have confirmed they have detained a 51-year-old man. From Washington, this is VOA News. A Hong Kong online news site said Sunday that it would cease operations in light of deteriorating press freedoms, days after police raided and arrested 7 people for sedition at a separate pro-democracy news outlet. Citizen News announced its decision in a Facebook post on Sunday. It said it would stop updating its site on January 4th and would be shuttered after that. It's the third news outlet to close in recent months, following pro-democracy newspaper Apple Daily and online site Stand News. Authorities have moved to silent dissent in the semi-autonomous city, once known as a hub for vibrant media outlets, after Beijing implemented a sweeping national security law following massive pro-democracy protests in 2019. The United States and other Western governments have condemned diminishing press and civil freedoms that Beijing promised to uphold for 50 years following Hong Kong's 1997 handover from Britain. Iran's Revolutionary Guards said they killed 6 armed bandits in a shootout in the country's southeast that also left 3 members of a Guards-linked paramilitary force dead. The Guards said late Saturday on their website that the latest clashes broke out around a hideout of militants near a village in central Sistan, Baluchistan. The province bordering Pakistan and Afghanistan is a flashpoint for clashes with smuggling gangs, as well as separatists from the Baluchi minority and extremist militant groups. On Friday, the Guards said they had targeted and killed the perpetrators behind an attack that left 2 of their members dead on December 25th in the same province. South Korea's military said Sunday that an unidentified person crossed the heavily fortified border into North Korea. The person was earlier spotted by a surveillance equipment at the eastern portion of the border known as the demilitarized zone. The person avoided capture by South Korean troops on Saturday night. Officers with South Korea's Joint Chiefs of Staff said surveillance later detected the person crossing the border. It was unclear whether the person was a South Korean entering the north or a North Korean returning to it. Israel's military says it launched strikes against militant targets in the Gaza Strip a day after rockets were fired from the Hamas-ruled territory. Early Sunday video filmed in the southern Gaza Strip showed 3 huge explosions, and fighter jets could be heard flying over. There was no immediate confirmation of possible casualties. The Israeli military said the attacks targeted a rocket manufacturing facility and a military post for Hamas. Via remote, I'm Marissa Melton, VOA News.